I'm going to show you how to achieve this really fantastic looking number scroll technique in PowerPoint. So obviously it's our job here at the Prezenter to bring our clients' content to life inside their presentations, and quite often that content is just very simple numbers. And you want to grab people's attention that are in your audience. You want to keep their eyeballs glued firmly to the screen and paying attention. And this is a really nice technique for doing that. So what I've got here on this slide are a few text boxes. It's a blank white slide. I've got the word first. I've got another text box with a 0 in it, which is bold at the moment. And then a final text box that says the word days. So I'm going to create a number scroll that goes all the way from 0 through to 100 for one of our clients to talk about their first 100 days implementing a new brand into their organization. So the very first thing I need to do is duplicate this text box that has the 0 in it, and I need 3 of these. So I'm going to hold the Control key down. Of course, you could do Control C, Control V to copy paste, but I like to hold the Control key down and the Shift key and just drag this over to the left so that we've got another text box, and then we'll do it again. There we go. So this first one is obviously going to have a number 1, and then these are going to be zeros. This is the finishing position that we want to end up with. I'd probably have the number 1 a little bit closer like that, but I'll try not to worry too much about those little details for this. Now on the second text box, I'm going to click into that and hit the Enter key and go all the way through until we go to 9 and back to 0. And then I'm going to do the same thing again on the third text box, but I'm going to do it twice. There we go. Whew. Now, if I zoom out, it's going to look a bit crazy at the moment. We've got 3 text boxes, one with just 1 digit in it, the number 1, then 0 through to 9 back to 0, then 0 through to 9 back to 0, and then through all the way to 9 and back to 0 again. So the reason we're doing that is because those are the number text boxes that we want PowerPoint to actually scroll through. That's how we create this look and feel. Now, before we do that, we need to do a bit of a cheat. We need to cover up the text boxes that we've just added all of those digits to. So I'm going to go to the Home button here and just click on Shapes and drag on a very simple rectangle. There we go. And of course, I'm going to make that white, and I'm going to give it no borders at all. And then I will duplicate that and also put that at the top of the slide like so. You need to make sure it goes right to the edges because that's going to mask what's actually going on underneath, which is the number text boxes scrolling up and down. Okay, so we've duplicated our text boxes, we've added all of those digits, we've added some cover up rectangles. Now what we need to do is right click this slide and duplicate like so. And then on the very first slide, so not on the slide that we just created a copy of, that's our finishing position. We need to go back to slide 1. And now we're going to move those text boxes. So I'm just going to zoom out a bit more again. I'm going to grab this first 0 here, and I'm just going to drag this all the way up so that it's all the way off the slide. In fact, I'll just use my arrow keys there as well. Then I'm going to do the same thing for this third one. I will do the same for the number 1 as well in just a second. So I'm going to move this one all the way up, and I might put this one actually in a slightly different position higher up, just so the timing of the scrolls isn't exactly the same as the digit next to it. Then I'm going to grab number 1, go all the way up with number 1 to the top. So I'm going to use my arrow key for this and just go all the way up so that it's above the third text box with numbers in. There we go. So again, this looks a bit confusing and a bit crazy at the moment, but this will all come together nicely in a second. So here we go again. So here on our first text box, on our first slide, sorry, we've literally just got the word first days here and nothing at all. Then we've got our finishing position. Now the final thing you need to do is go to transitions and make sure you've got the Morph Transition selected. If you've ever used Morph before, you know that you can duplicate slides, move content around, and PowerPoint fills in the gaps for you. That's exactly what we're doing here. So if I hit Morph, you'll see that happens pretty quickly, but we can change the timing of it as well. So over here on the right-hand side, the duration of that Morph transition is set to 2 seconds as a default. If I want it to go a little bit slower, I can maybe double that time. In fact, let's make it 5 seconds. Let's go back to slide 1, hit the present button, and let's just see how that looks. So I'm going to hit the arrow to advance to the next slide. And there we go. There's our number scroll, and it lovely sort of finishes really nicely on all 3 digits coming together for the number 100. Now there's a few things that you could do differently. The technique I've just shown you is all you really need to know to get going with the number scroll. But one thing I might want to change actually is if I go back to slide 1 here, I don't actually like how it just says first days and there's nothing there at all. So it might actually be quite nice for me to start with those zeros. So let's just move these zeros down like so that we actually start being able to see those zeros, and we can click here. At least there's something a bit more to look at. We can hit the right arrow and then we get the number scroll, and of course the number 1 comes in at the end. So still looks great, just gives you and the audience a little bit more to look at the very start. So as you can see, the number scroll technique is really, really easy to set up. It can take literally minutes to implement, but it can massively change the impact that your presentation will have on the audience. Like I said at the start, it can literally keep those eyeballs glued to the screen and paying attention, and that's what we want. Now, some of you may have noticed, not all of you, but I'm going to mention it here anyway, I got my numbers the wrong way round. But those of you that were paying attention will have noticed that my numbers actually scrolled backwards through 99 all the way down and then got to 100. So just something to look out for. Make sure you've got your numbers in the right order and in the right position before you duplicate the slide, hit Morph, and obviously readjust the positions. I'm not going to reshoot the video, guys. Come on, I've got PowerPoints to build. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. I'll see you on the next one.